I introduce myself as Tanya. I am creator of the Acupressure Reiki technique, where I use the power of touch and energy healing. And it's a holistic modality, so all the healing comes within, and I release the blockages with acupressure and bring in the healing energy with Reiki to find it within yourself. So today that's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you some stress relieving techniques and how you can release them yourself. So, everybody ready? Who has stress? Yeah, we all have stress, right? But where we get the stress is important in how we release it. So some people get stress headaches, yeah? So they get tightness and stiffness in their neck and their shoulders. I tend to get a lot in my shoulders. That's where I hold a lot of my stress. Some people get tightness in their chest pains. And some get stomach aches when they get too stressed. Any of y'all experience any of those when you get stressed? Yeah. And sometimes we store stress in our low back and our hips. Women in particular tend to hold a lot in their hips. So today I'm going to show you how to release some of those. But first, I want to make sure everybody's breathing correctly. So when you breathe, most people, they take short, shallow breaths, and that's not efficient. We tend to forget how to breathe. When you look at a baby, they're breathing from their belly. That's the correct way to breathe, but somehow life happens and we grow out of that and we breathe shallow. So we want to sit straight up with our spine straight, and we want to make sure we're relaxed in our shoulders. And hold your hand on your belly, and I want you to take an inhale only through your nose and make your belly blow up like a balloon. And that's where the breath comes from. It comes from the belly, and you can send it up through the chest, but you want it slow. You don't want to do that because you'll hyperventilate. So we start from our belly and we bring it up, and when we release, we don't just let it all real fast out. We have slow, controlled release. So take an inhale, and then let it out slow. And you can let out through your mouth, but when you're doing certain breathing techniques, a lot of times it's easier to in and out through your nose, because you can tend to get lightheaded if you're using your mouth. So if you notice, like mouth breathers, they tend to be stressed a lot because they're not breathing correctly. So how do we know how to breathe? Let's start out with head stress. So when we get headaches from stress, what's the first thing we do? Right? That's an automatic response. Our body is telling us that's what we need to do. That's a release point. These are acupressure points. So our body tries to tell us what we need to do, but sometimes we ignore. We just pop a pill and hope the headache goes away, right? So everybody take your fingers and don't dig in with your tips. Use your flat of your fingers. And this is your third eye point. And you just take those mindful breaths from your belly and just set the intention of releasing that headache or that stress, and just focus on that point. And you can do this for like 2 to 3 minutes. And you can also, the sides of your eyes, your temples, a lot of people get them there too. And if you're having like an acute pounding headache, a lot of times it helps to use your palms, because you want to put pressure, because sometimes it hurts so much that you want to put pressure. And you can use your palm too, and you can rub in circular motions as well. Those are really good for those headaches. In the back of your head, right where your skull, the base of your skull, you can feel all along the base of your skull, and in the middle there's a hollow point. You feel it? That is an excellent tension release point. If you push hard enough, you can actually feel your head tingling, and that is your body sending the message to release. Then you can also use a tennis ball or a racquetball to lay down and have that there, and just mindfully lay there and do your breaths that way too. That's helped me a lot in some stress headaches. So those are your head points. Any questions on the head points? Okay, we go down to our neck and shoulders. A lot of times sometimes we can just kind of massage down like this. Sometimes that neck tension, it just gets kind of stopped up through there. And this point right up under your earlobe, you could feel a little hollow spot right up under your earlobe where your jaw meets. And it's really good if you clench your teeth a lot in your sleep, or you tend to do that a lot. This is a good release point. And just make sure you're taking those mindful breaths while you do it. And then also the shoulder point back here. This is where all the tight knots get. If you have those, just really like dig in and massage there. And make sure that the arm that you're working on is just naturally relaxed. Take those mindful breaths. And when you breathe in, you're holding that spot, and when you exhale, try to push in a little bit deeper on the exhale, and then hold that spot there. And then the next exhale, go in a little bit deeper, and see how you can release that point that way. And when you're done, on that last exhale, you slowly let your fingers go, and you can feel that tension melt away. So that's a good one for that. And you can also use the tennis balls for those points as well. You can get a sock and put 2 tennis balls and place it behind there, and just lay and mindfully breathe that way. It's a good stress relief. And then the collarbone right here, if you're having the neck tension, just kind of hook your fingers on your collarbone, and then lean your head back to stretch the neck. Because when we open this front of the neck, it releases the back. So if you get a lot of headaches back here in the back, it's because we need to release the tension in the front. So there's always a front-back relationship. So you just kind of hang out there and breathe. Any questions on the neck and shoulder? All right, then we have our chest. A lot of people feel tightness in the chest when they get stress or anxiety. And then place right below the collarbone and right above the breastbone. You'll feel like a dip right below your collarbone. Go out to where your shoulders meet. Feel a little hollow there. This is actually called the letting go point in traditional Chinese medicine. So it's a lone point, but it's a letting go point for grief, for anxiety, stress, anything you need to let go of. And you can hold opposite sides, you can hold at the same time, whatever's comfortable for you. I like to do one at a time because I can kind of feel that space a little bit better, but however is comfortable for you. And then the other point on the chest is right in the middle of the breastbone. And you can actually feel like little divots where your fingers can go in. It's like they're made for it. And this is for like acute anxiety attacks. You know, sometimes some people will be like, oh, chest. That's another body response saying, hey, this is what you need to let go of. So acute anxiety attacks, just holding this point. And you can also just kind of rub, and this stimulates your vagus nerve as well. Just kind of rub from your throat down to your middle of your breastbone. And just breathe mindfully saying, I got you, I got you, I got you. I like to do that for about 2 to 3 minutes. And that tells your body to calm down. So those are our chest points. And then we're gonna go down to our stomach point, which is right at the solar plexus, right below your rib cage in the middle. If that's tight, if that's sore, you've got blockage. It should not be tight or sore. And you don't want to hold this very firmly because it could make you feel sick. But it is a really good release point for any kind of, so your solar plexus is for like your self-power. That's where you hold all your power. And if you're not releasing and speaking your mind or being in your authentic self, then you've got blockages. So mindfully hold that, and you can just palm that spot so you're not digging your fingers in, and take those deep breaths and relieve that stomach ache. Because things we don't need, we have to let go of because we're gonna feel it. Wherever we feel it, we know we need to let go of it. So those are our stomach points. And then for our hips and our back, you can put your thumbs on your hip bones, and you can do, this is mainly for women, but right where your leg meets your body, you could feel like little ropey cords cords in there, if you rub through there, it is a huge release point for releasing emotions, releasing stuck energy. In traditional Chinese medicine, the meridians, this is the point to release those emotional blockages. So you hold that mindfully as well. And then you can turn your hands around to your lower back. A lot of low back pain there. Just kind of massage yourself. You can also use the tennis ball for these points as well. Basically all the points you could probably use a tennis ball, but I like to do that because it leaves me free to just relax and let the ball do the work, so I can practice with my mindful breath. Especially if you've got the headache, you don't want to do anything but just relax, right? So anytime we do these, we have to remember that the breath is the key. If you're not breathing correctly, then that energy is going to have a hard time releasing, because all pain is blocked energy. So using the breath with the acupressure helps release. Anybody have any questions? You'll know it all. So we're going to end with the sound bath, and while we're doing the sound bath, you can lay down if you're more comfortable, since there's room now, and whatever point that resonates with you, or you can do a combination of any of the points. I want you to just lay there or sit there, make sure your spine's straight if you're sitting and your shoulders are relaxed, and just hold those points and mindfully take those breaths, those belly breaths, slow, controlled breaths. They don't have to be deep. Just make sure you're being mindful of it, and just relax and listen to the sound bowl. Get comfortable.